everybody. This is Ody Knight of the Lifetime Backlog, and I am joined by Beetorias.
Sup, gamers?
Alright, so we're picking up where we last left off with Part 2, Hunt Down the Freeman. We got a comment on the last video telling us that we were on an outdated version. They're probably right. We're running the June version of OWF, Old Whiskey Freedom. I think the most recent version is actually the one that was released for National Video Game Day. Oh well, we'll just go along with this one anyway. It's still fun to talk about it and see what it's like.
And since this is pre-recorded, the gameplay, so
yeah, this was recorded a while ago, so
yeah,
we'll just go with it. A little bit of preamble before we start. Why exactly are we making this series? We talked about what the premise of it is, but why exactly are we doing it? Well, the reason why is because it's more of a casual thing on the side. We'll talk about more recent topics, stuff that we're interested in, but it's supposed to be a companion series with the Lifetime Backlog reviews of games, and going over my whole lifetime tier list of games and whatnot. Kind of to double up on it, to have the reviews and the video podcast, so we can try to do two at once, or multiple at once, since it is a lot of games, and they're just going to keep coming anyway.
I've seen it, and trust me, it is pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it
I believe
would be
I shared
impossible
it.
to cover all of them just with the shorts. Oh, did you share with the? Okay.
Yeah, I shared it in another video about how to get through your backlog, since this is all just about the science, if you will, of trying to work through your media backlog and whatnot. The rotation idea and leaving notes and whatnot, so it actually has an impact on you.
Yeah, this science of being a good gamer.
All right. Let's we're not gonna take like 20 minutes like last time. Let's just go ahead and jump in, shall we? Okay, we're picking up where we left off. We're still trudging through the damn snow. What's up here?
Last time.
Whoa!
Oh, dandelions.
That's a lot. That's okay. A lot. There's like a dozen up here on this platform, and they just sailed right off.
Supposed to be in the snow. Why here?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Whatever.
Honestly, I feel like half the things that I say about this game is I don't know why. Like, maybe they were attacking this encampment from the Combine. I don't know how they got up here, but whatever.
Yeah, for plot, I guess.
Yeah, for plot. It was very important to the plot of Hunting Down the Freeman that the snow ant lions were on this platform.
Yeah. It's cinema. You don't get it. If you have to ask, you don't get it.
It's just like jazz music, man. If you have to ask, you'll never know.
Okay, so we did mention we'll be talking about the recent events, and speaking of which, State of Play got released like 15-16 hours ago. It's pretty new, so
yeah, so it's not.
I thought we could talk.
It's
about
not like we're gonna catch on it immediately, but we are within the zeitgeist. Hopefully, it's gonna be pretty topical. I'm gonna go through these in a random order, just on stuff that we're interested in. I'll start. We're getting another Sonic game. This one will be Sonic X Shadows Generations. Now this is serendipitous because last time you mentioned that you were a huge fan of the Shadow the Hedgehog video game, right?
As a child I was, which really goes to show that I wasn't really a... the opinions of a child doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Inside.
But this one is supposed to be like Sonic Generations, too. Like the one that was like Retro Sonic and New Sonic.
Yeah, I know that game.
And
I liked it too.
So it's like trying to hit two levels of nostalgia here, right?
Oh yeah, like the Shadow stuff they showed, actually kind of cool. I would like to try it out sometime, maybe.
You know what? That's the thing that like pretty much every Sonic fan says whenever a new trailer drops, where it's just like, this is going to make Sonic cool again. and then it's just like,
And it doesn't. And it's just broken.
yeah,
It doesn't work.
no, all of it just works.
Well, I mean, maybe if the game runs properly, then maybe it'll be good, like with Sonic Mania. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah. What
We
else
thought that
was?
Sonic Frontiers was okay, but at least it ran properly,
Hmm.
which is a good thing. Okay, what other
I
game?
only ever played one Sonic game, and it was Sonic Heroes. And like, I'm a child of born in the '90s, was raised in the 2000s. I've only ever known Sonic to be bad, so I can't be convinced otherwise.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We were too old to be in that bandwagon.
Mm-hmm. I'm either too old or too young.
Yeah, too early to explore the world. Sorry, too late to explore the world. Too early to explore space. Sonic is just like that.
I'm not young enough to explore the world, but I'm also too old to. I'm not old enough to retire. You know, I'm in a liminal space.
Yeah. So what other game?
What else was there? You might have noticed that I almost died back there.
Because of the elevator?
Well, yeah, I was running into some trouble. Not the elevator, obviously. It was just I was getting shot a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Oh, yeah, your health is pretty low. Okay.
Silent Hill: The Short Message. There was a decent handful of Silent Hill news here.
Yeah, two actually.
Yeah, Silent Hill: The Short Message is was pretty much released right then and there, like after it was revealed. It was free. It's basically like, and it's in first person too, so I'm not the only one to notice that this is very similar to PT.
Yeah, it looks like the part 2.
Yeah, it's like we got out of the house and now we're in the apartment block essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first thing that came to, the first thing I noticed was just how much the main character talks. She's talking all the time, and I didn't really like that. But other than I think it looks kind of interesting, especially with the phone mechanic. If they turn that into like a gameplay thing, like
Yeah.
using the phone.
Is this one also made by
solve puzzles
Bloober
and
Team?
such.
Was I paying attention? Was this one also made by Bloober Team? I don't know.
I think this is from the main development team. There was a Japanese guy, commenting on it. Saying hello, I'm the producer of this Japanese game. So no, I don't think it's the blue team.
Okay. The blue teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were they called again?
Okay, so Bloober Team.
Yeah, Bloober Team.
Yeah.
Right.
So we also got a Silent Hill 2 remake trailer, an actual gameplay trailer this time. Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Not a lot of people will, I believe that's true for a lot of people too. But if this game comes out, you better look out because there'll probably be a rash of incredibly elaborate crimes committed across countries, across borders, because it's going to be my supervillain origin story. Like, I'll become a fucking Batman villain because
like Riddler.
Yeah, I will become a Batman villain because how dare they touch my precious child? Like,
okay, so let's talk about the red flags first.
Yeah.
Like, what are the things that that really gets to you in the trailer?
All right. Well, every reason for why, for 1 to 100 is blue. It begins and ends with Bloober Team. Maybe I'm just being too much of a hater because I've seen their other games, and like as a horror fan, mostly because of the Silent Hill games, I tend to have a sense of quality control, and most of every horror game I've seen from them looks like garbage.
I mean, I played Layers of Fear it was from the same team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was mediocre. It wasn't great, but visually it was fine, I guess. And likewise, this remake also looks okay visually at least.
Hmm.
Though I'm not talking about the gameplay here, just
The
visually.
gameplay is completely different. They made it like
Oh
almost
yeah,
a switch in genre, really.
it feels like the Resident Evil 4 now with the
No, no,
third
no,
person action.
no, no. Resident Evil 4 was way more gun focused. This reminds me more of like the Callisto Protocol, which is way more melee focused.
So no,
That
does it
sound you
does it
heard was
look
a
good?
dark chill going through the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
It's just like uh, a dark chill going through the air. Oh, hey, look. This is maybe like the fifth,
Parkour.
yeah, the fifth or sixth time we've had to do any parkour in the down the Freeman, and we're only like we're in Act 2, so it's had such a great mainstay, such an
Yeah, such an
incentive.
incredible mechanic.
I love having a face full of wall. So, yeah, Silent Hill 2 remake. It's just like I'm gonna say some controversial things because I don't think the audiences of today can actually handle the story of Silent Hill 2. I'm not saying that to be like edgy or anything. Be like, oh, you woke snowflakes, you can't handle it. No, that's not the problem. And you can, and really, you should count me among the woke snowflakes because that's the way I lean. And I'm not much of a snowflake anyway. Uh,
I know.
did you see that,
I
by the
know.
way?
What the
We,
one?
the,
Why'd you reset the game?
well,
Sorry.
the game crashed. Was what
Oh.
happened. Yeah, it kind of stuttered there,
Incredible.
and I had to start back a bit.
I thought it was the media player and not the game.
No,
Oh well,
it was the game that was legit. That was recorded.
incredible.
Yeah. Uh, I just don't think that it's a story that people can actually relate to. Like, the audience of 2001 versus 2024 is phenomenally different. The audience for video games. And if anything, as video games become bigger and bigger, they've
You mean like
skewed.
the age group that plays the game?
Yeah, like, I know that this is supposed to be appealing to people who played it back then. Oh, we got a cutscene, by the way.
Oh fuck,
But it's the
it's so
it's
ugly.
it's the 12-year-olds. It's the young children or that have disposable income that are mostly serving as the backbone of the industry, right?
Zoomers, you mean?
I wouldn't go that far, but uh, Zoomers, younger millennials, perhaps. But like, my point is that like, there's no appeal for them in this at all, and like, the story of the original game is a very mature and adult story. You have to actually have a modicum of like restraint and understanding to get it. It's just like I don't feel like people would be terribly sympathetic to the actual like problems presented to James, of what James presents as his problems and his guilt, and the reasons why. I don't feel like people will be terribly sympathetic to him. I know we're living in a
Yeah, it's a
time.
very specific kind of group. You
Yeah,
know,
I know we're
married
living in
men,
a
I guess.
time where like we can love the villain and whatnot, like the reverse Faustian thing. But like, speaking of villains, you see what's going on here?
Um, what is that? Is that the those things from Half-Life 2? I forgot them.
Yeah, the cremators.
The overseers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so what's going on here is that they're building war machines in here. All right, it's a big factory for
Okay.
war machines. Uh, but oh no, who are building? Who are the people building them? That's right. It's being made. They're being made by
Child labor.
children. It's child slavery.
Child labor. Okay,
Yeah.
one thing I noticed about Half-Life 2 was no, there was pretty much no children.
Yeah.
No, maybe I guess it could make sense if this is taking place right after the 7 Hours War. But like one
Yeah.
of the
It's
plus
like
points is that all of the people are infertile because of the combine influence.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
talking about
like,
Half-Life
here's
2,
where all
yeah.
the children went too, to work in the factories. Oh
Just
my!
just
No,
like in
did
19th
you
century England.
hear what Mitchell said?
No, I didn't. What did you say?
He said, "I don't think child slavery is all that bad."
Oh, Mitchell.
Is like he's
Yeah,
giving
he's
his
such an
reasoning.
edgelord.
He's giving his reasoning here, and it's basically just like, oh, survival of the fittest. If we had conquered the Combine, we would have done the same. So,
Yeah,
like,
here's a 12 list. Here's a 12-point list why child labor is okay. And here are all the arguments.
you
Whatever.
wouldn't. Mitchell wouldn't happen to be like a politician from Arkansas, would they?
Yeah, Mitchell's probably a libertarian anarchist.
Ugh.
Anarcho-libertarian, whatever they call them.
And narco-libertarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the moment where it's just like, this may be like the first moment that you get the peak of like Mitchell being maybe not such a great guy. Like, the first act seems to imply that like people die whenever he takes command. Maybe he's cursed, right? It's not necessarily his fault, it's just his fate. But like, this
Maybe
one,
it is.
this is his own opinion here. He's given the soapbox, and then he promptly said, we should send the children back into the coal mines. Yeah, he's saying, no, even better. He says that he's going to have a child army. He's going to take these kids out of this factory.
Just like Big Boss.
He's going to take the children out of this factory and raise them into an army.
Sure, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Big Boss.
Yeah. Just give him an eye patch and it's basically the same character.
Yeah.
Just significantly worse written.
Yeah, infinitely worse written. And his voice actor isn't as great.
Yeah, sorry, bro, but you're no David Hayter. You're the other guy that also voiced Snake.
The other Snake that isn't actually Snake.
Yeah.
But no spoilers.
No spoilers for a game that came out in 2015. No scope. Okay.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the Silent Hill remake.
Yeah, as I was saying, I feel like the remake will do the job of sanitizing the more abrasive elements of Silent Hill 2.
You think they're going to touch the story?
That's what my fear is. I have no faith in them, essentially. Perhaps I'm wrong. Sorry for that blinding white right there. Perhaps I'm wrong. I'm probably just being overly pessimistic. I like to think of myself as optimistic. I'm not an edgelord 12-year-old anymore. So, I have very little faith, unfortunately. So, we're just gonna have to see.
The best thing they can do, would be to just replicate Silent Hill 2's, story beat by beat. And like anything else that they would do, they would just make it worse.
Yeah. I want them to do the same thing that the Destroy All Humans remake did. Like 1 and 2. Because all that remake does, that remake also just cleaned up the audio and uses the same voice lines of the original game.
Silent Hill actually tried to do that with the remasters, but...
Yeah, and they were garbage. They were fucking garbage. Blinded again.
This time around, we have new voice actors, right?
Yeah, we have new voice actors.
Did we hear the character talk?
Well, we already heard Mary's voice actress, and she's definitely different. So we have to assume that the others will be different as well.
Yeah, of course. Probably.
So it's a PlayStation 5 game, but it'll also be coming to Steam. It's, by the look of the technical specs they projected thus far, it looks like it's going to be a little on the hefty side. Not too much, but a solid amount to expect for an above average tier of specs for a 2020 game. A year that came out in the decade of the 2020s, not back in...
It's not coming out for PS4, is it?
Oh, absolutely not, no.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
Guess I
Now,
can't play it.
are you poor? Is that what you're implying?
I mean,
You mean
I'm
like
not going to buy
you?
a PS5, at least not for a very long time.
Well, I was about to say, it's like you and the whole rest of the universe that can't afford a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that, by the way? I'm getting pissed off here because they spawned like 4 enemies right behind me.
Yeah, maybe you could have just ran off, like you
Well,
did with the last chapters.
but you can't actually because you need
Oh.
this factory room is the last room of this act.
Like, so you need to beat the enemy waves, okay.
Yeah, you have to defeat the enemies in front of you and the ones that spawn right behind you, and like you have to get to the end of the room essentially. There's no point of no return spot. It's just you and everyone else here. Yeah. If
Yeah,
it's not one thing, it's another, man.
Like, at this point, there's just no game design. It's just like Gmod. You spawn the enemies using the command tool. You give the player weapons, and
Yeah.
you just shoot. That's what I used to do in Gmod,
Yeah, and
and
they're
it feels
just
exactly like that.
you gave them like swarm AI, so they don't really like
Yeah.
they work pretty simply. Jeez. I'm just waiting for the guys to show up behind me again. Alright, we have some other games we want to talk about here. Judas. This is the upcoming Ken Levine game, also the creator of Bioshock. He definitely is showing his penchant for style here. It's kind of the same approach of Bioshock, but whereas Bioshock was more of 1950s Art Deco. 1920s Art Deco taking place in the 50s, and Bioshock Infinite was more of a swashbuckling lionization of the of colonial America. This one seems to be putting on kind of like a techno a more of a cyberpunkian reinterpretation of old Western tropes, which
Like like Fallout's kind of future, like Ray Punk.
Well, no, I would say maybe more like Fallout New Vegas's interpretation,
Yeah, okay.
particularly with like the Western style and whatnot.
Yeah, okay. The New Vegas thing, makes more sense. I get it. But yeah, like, to me, it just seems to me like more of the same, and more of the same. By that, I mean like more Bioshock, and that's a very good thing, I think.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, like Bioshock has been pretty distant for the past decade or so. So, like, a new interpretation by the same person, perhaps with the benefit of hindsight, since Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite are not perfect games, could be good. In the same, but there's been a lot of news of like Ken Levine being kind of a prima donna behind the scenes and like throwing out stuff that doesn't meet his vision. So there could be a sense of like a very restrained quality control going on, or in fact, it could be the opposite. Really, it could be just like weird, like just his interpretation that is impenetrable and no one will get. So it could go either way. Really.
Speaking of which, where did you put the Bioshock games in your tier list?
Oh, if you pull up the tier list, you'll see that it's towards the upper end of the great tier. I know that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in the great tier. Both of them are.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a controversial opinion. Really, I feel that there's a lot of. I feel like Bioshock Infinite stock has dropped a lot in intervening years as it's been reinterpreted, because like it doesn't say much about racism. It kind of drops the ball and whatnot. It's just like I know some people that actively dislike it. I still like it. That's what I mean by how
Infinite, right?
I'm talking about Bioshock Infinite and the fact that
Yeah.
it doesn't really have a solid approach to systematic racism or America's influence thereof. And that's why I say that like Silent Hill 2, it doesn't feel like it has great grounding for being reintroduced to more modern audiences because we live in a world of reappraisals. And like Bioshock Infinite, which was considered Game of the Year material, is now considered to like wholly controversial, and like there's some people who will swear by saying that it's a game that doesn't live up to its potential. Totally
Personally,
bought the farm right
okay.
there.
Oh yeah. So like
Uh,
personally, I like the normal Bioshock story more interesting. Like the way it takes Ayn Rand's philosophy and gives a very good criticism of it. I
mhm.
find it more interesting personally
I
because
do as
I know
well.
for
I
a
have a
fact
lot
that
of.
Ayn Rand is a scum,
Yeah,
and
she
I like
was.
the game I like the way Bioshock handled it.
Hmm. Yeah, Bioshock was pretty important to me. Even before it came out, I played the demo like a whole lot.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was like even my uh, my friends at the time were interested in it, and they weren't interested in single player games at all. They were still focused on like Call of Duty multiplayer and stuff. So like yeah, it seems like this one will go
What
in
was
an
going on there?
interesting. Judas. Oh yeah, I thought that this was the level exit, but it's just a black wall. Uh,
Black wall.
yeah.
I thought this is the part where you could put on the goggles, night vision goggles, but nope,
No, it's just a black wall. Like
it's
what
just
you
a black
actually
wall.
need to do here is kill all the rest of the enemies that are left. But even then, it's broken, right? So that
Yeah.
guy dies. I'm aiming at this guy, and look what happens. It fades to black. That guy was still alive. And yet, it's just like, oh, you shot one dude. The mission's
Yeah,
over.
good
Fuck it.
enough. Yeah, good enough.
Yeah. So this is the part where Mitchell takes in all of the children, the identical gas mask children, and raises up his own child army.
That's that's just MGS5. Oh
Yeah,
well, but
it
worse.
is. Yeah. Uh, fuck. Anyway, there were some other titles. By the way,
17
17
years
years
later.
later. 17 years later, and they actually got the font right.
Oh,
Yeah,
like City
nothing else could
17?
happen in between. Hmm?
Like the
No,
font
it's
from City 17?
not
Oh, never mind.
necessarily. But it's supposed to be, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out where we are. There are some other titles that I want to bring up. There were some
Of
VR
course.
titles that were presented. Neither of us have a VR headset, but I like to talk about them anyway.
Unfortunately. Maybe one day.
Hmm. Maybe one day.
If this
Metro
podcast
Awakening.
if this podcast takes off, I will buy a VR headset with the money. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Let's get to that funding goal. Yeah, so here we're on the ship with all of the standing identical NPCs. You'll find that every single one of these guys is voiced by Pyrocynical. Yeah, just the same
Oh,
voice.
embarrassing.
Metro
Imagine being surrounded
Awakening.
by an army of pyrocynical. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Metro Awakening looks pretty cool. I like the idea of. I like the idea, of course, of trying to go like since Metro Exodus took us way, way, way out of the Metro. It'd be nice to have a kind of a small side story that takes us back to it. Uh, yeah, it. I like it when Metro leans into horror elements and like
Like
definitely
underground
sticking.
sections?
Yeah, definitely be back in the Metro, be with your gas mask and your AK, and it's just like that blending of horror and action. So many titles have difficulty with. Be very interesting to see how it's done in VR as well. It probably would be along the same lines of like the Resident Evil games. Probably not because it's Metro, but it'd be interesting. What else was there?
Yeah. Okay, another VR title was the Legendary Tales.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can tell, it's like a sandbox title where where you make your own setting, and
Uh
place
huh.
the enemies and weapons and such.
Oh
No,
yeah.
it's kind of like Sword and Sorcery, the other VR game. It's very similar, but
Yeah.
like I really like the sandbox aspect with in the trailer the guy just picks up Skeleton's head and starts bashing it to the wall. It was quite funny. I would have liked to try it sometime.
Yeah. All right. What else was there?
Um,
Trying to.
Rise of
Oh,
Ruin, the
uh,
the, the Team Ninja game.
well, I want to talk about that. What's uh? By the way,
Oh,
cutscene. Yeah. It kind of takes a while before you're supposed to find this. Okay. There's Mitchell's new look.
it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, he got a haircut. He got
Okay.
he got that salt and pepper beard. What is that? No
Gordon Freeman?
way. This makes no sense to me. Whoever found this crowbar? What does it even mean? It's just like, how do they find it out here in the ocean, in the middle of? Yeah, and it really it triggers Mitchell something fierce. He can't take it. He needs a little bit of alone time. But
Not again. This is like the seventh time.
yeah, and this scene goes on forever. It's basic. I'll just tell it. It's basically G-Man's like, bro, we have a deal. I'm coming to collect. You better do what I say, or I'll just kill you all. And then Mitchell's like, I don't want to do it.
Mitchell, more like bitch ass baby.
Yeah, Bitchell. That's what we call him.
Yeah. Yeah, G-Man shouldn't be talking this much. It just
He's just
defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah, he's just having a conversation at this point.
Yeah, like
he might as well just be coming in to tell you that your rent is due.
yeah.
It's just like, we had a deal. You gotta own up to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
this
just
is
goes
so
on
interesting.
and on. It's basically just reiterating the same point over and over again.
Yeah, while G-Man is talking, I think we can talk about the other games.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Death Stranding 2, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Norman Reedus. He's a pretty cool dude. There was one time at the Toronto Film Festival where my wife was working there, and yeah, and my wife was working at Toronto Film Festival, also known as TIFF, and she walked down the same. No, she walked by Norman Reedus at one point. You know, they were on their way to the bathroom. They happened to walk by Norman Reedus. So you know what? Within airspace of Norman Reedus, that's something right there.
Yeah, and your wife has entered the airspace of Norman Reedus. You know,
yeah, exactly.
What a tale to tell.
It's nothing like my Timothy Chalamet story, but we'll get around to that someday. So Death Stranding. I liked the first Death Stranding. You won't see it on any list thus far, since I actually share it with my on another account with someone. I used to hike a whole lot, so I was very I very much liked the in-depth hiking mechanics of the first one. Death Stranding 2 is leaning even. Hello, by the way. Do you remember when in last time when I told you that you should keep an eye out for that Nick guy, the guy with the black hair?
Is this him?
British accent. This is him. Yeah.
He looks pretty different.
He looks like a completely different person, right? Like,
yeah.
I know he lost his hair, but he looks like I think he might have changed races too.
Yeah, it's like he has a different texture.
Tell. It's like, it's not even. I know it's been 20 years, but he has not aged well at all.
Yeah, it must be the stress.
Been living on the sea for 20 years. All the salt water is in my veins.
So, back to Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding 2.
Death Stranding is pretty much just Kojima gathering his cool friends and doing whatever the fuck he wants.
I'm invested in Kojima solely so that he could take a selfie with literally every famous person every famous person alive.
At this point, he's going to take a selfie with Donald Trump, and he's going to feature in the next game.
You know what? Every video game awards that feature him Basically, just solely to exist so that he could meet up with a celebrity to take a picture with
Yeah,
them.
I know.
Like that is the reason why the one from the last year, or 2 years ago, I think, Kojima took a picture of Al Pacino. It's like that's the whole reason why the award show exists anyway.
Yeah, Kojima just meets new actors and just,
Uh huh.
adds them to his games. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Al Pacino's featured in the next game.
Oh man, as a hidden boss, I'd be so down for that. We shot Mad Nicholson last time. Now it's time to shoot Al Pacino, and he needs to say he gotta say his famous
Yeah,
catchphrase. You know the one? Yeah.
say hello
It's
to my
just like
little fan.
say hello to my little friend. Yeah, it'll be all worth it. Okay.
I'm sure it will. This
Yeah.
looks awful.
This chapter is basically over. We've just seen it's basically just 3 cutscenes.
It's the whole chapter?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, that's the whole chapter. It's wandering around a boat with your identical friends and with your identical army of friends and watching 3 cutscenes. Now is time for the dramatic, inspiring speech, right?
This just looks like a parody of MGS5.
Yeah, a very bad one. It's basically it's basically the same plot framework with a character that looks roughly like
right?
Big Boss. Yeah, just hijack that whole plot, just like we hijacked all those assets.
Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
The Glamrock guy who shoots electric bolts from his guitar. What's the deal with that guy? What in the hell?
I think we know exactly what it means. It means neo-conservative imperialism. There you go. I got it. Nailed it.
Absolutely. I'd be really happy if Death Stranding got a musical piece though, like Make 2.
Yes. I want another musical scene. All right.
Yeah.
Kojima is a master of both games and film. He can make it happen.
Yeah, I mean that's his whole gimmick.
Yeah. Speaking of, there was the other project that he announced. Yeah. So it's gonna be like we saw the talk and everything. He's getting back into action espionage. Oh, by the way, another G-Man appearance, real quick.
Aww.
He just walked by.
Whatever, G-Man. Move on.
It's just like he overstays his welcome at this point.
I mean, he overstayed his welcome a very long time ago in chapter 1.
I don't think he actually teleports. I think he's actually living on this boat and he just chills out on the couch.
Wouldn't that be funny?
So you might be wondering how exactly we got here. It was just a short loading screen and now we're here somewhere.
Was that another cut chapter from Burke's
that's how
cut?
No. Oh, by the way, I died. Exceedingly poor judgment. Yes, that was what was used to make this game. Yeah. So it's not immediately apparent, but you're actually supposed to jump onto this train. There you go.
Okay. And a cutscene. Okay, loading screen.
All right. So strap in, because you gotta take a wild guess where we are right now.
City 17.
Yeah. So get ready for the Half-Life 2 speed run. Oh boy, isn't this familiar?
Would it be funny if it was the exact same map?
B, I hate to tell you this, but it is the exact same map.
Oh god.
Yeah. At least large chunks of it are.
Is that legal? Can they do that?
I
mean, this game is being sold with money.
I think it's legally distinct, you know? Yeah, this is actually, there's going to be a severe drop in quality between this part and others, because this was actually off of my first recording, and not the second or third, because this one was especially jank. This one was bugged the fuck up, and I'm gonna have to share it with the world. There's no way that I recorded this moment and I could not share it. Strap yourself in. We're in for a wild ride.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, but it's going to take a bit to get there. Hideo Kojima explained that he's getting back into the action espionage genre, but they kind of shadow dropped the title. You might not know if most people caught on to it pretty quick, but you might not know if you were paying attention.
Ody had to basically tell me what it is.
Yeah, because they specifically go on about how this is going to be a film game, a combination of the two. And they pulled back out of Sony Pictures' lot. Oh, Jesus.
That scared me.
Yeah, that guy was part of your team, and he just suicided himself. He pulled off an airport security bomb. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so they pulled out of the Columbia Pictures lot, which is owned by Sony, and there's a marquee right under it that says Finst. How most studio lots work is that they will actually include the name for the production on the side. The marquee, as it's called. So it's like if you're on Paramount's lot, which is a really good lot, by the way. I've seen the tour of it. They will specifically have Stage 19, Stage 17 or something, where it will say, like, this is specifically for Star Trek. And you'll see a marquee there that will make it very, very apparent. Well, what is it?
Was that the game, or was it the media player? The stutter.
The game is stuttering, and there was another G-Man appearance.
It's too much.
Yeah, he's basically like a pair of bunny ears, man. Yeah. I'm screwing around right now because I'm trying to get up this wall. You know, this is the way you're supposed to go in, like, Half-Life 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
been blocked off.
You're supposed to take the exact same path.
No, you're not. I'm screwing around. You're supposed to go take a different path. Okay, I already know where it is, but I'm, like, screwing around right now because I'm trying to... I guess I want a sequence break and see if I can go through the rest of Half-Life 2 from here. Yeah. Come on! Try. Get up! Yeah. There's gonna be some more artifacts.
It'd be pretty cool if they allowed you to do it.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, no.
You might have noticed something, though. I'm getting shot a whole lot, but I'm not dying. I have infinite health, because you're not supposed to get shot here. Yeah, and I pick up a gun. I'm not supposed to have a gun right now, and then...
Yeah, I think we just... I think we just broke the game, pretty much.
I broke the game just by standing around.
What do they call it when you break the skip sections of the game?
Sequence break.
Yeah, you basically did sequence break, exactly.
Yeah, I am breaking the game right now. Do you see that? I just gunned that guy down on the sidewalk, and those other guys over there that are on guard don't give a shit. Look! It's just like,
you put down
wasted. Yeah, that's what you do if you can put down your weapon if you switch to climbing mode.
Oh, okay. You can. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're officially in game-breaking territory. Oh my god. Oof.
I think that's the most fun you can get out of this game. By messing with
honestly, most people tend to... Their approach to this game... Yeah, we're in a new section. This isn't part of the regular walkway. You can tell because it looks like ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I about to say before I talked about this part? Because my mind is still fixated on the whole... Oh, no.
New game?
I was about to say that the sequence breaking, like... I don't think it's... to this day, people will say that, like, better have cheats on, just in case. But I say that, like, any game where you have to have cheats on is, like obviously not a good game, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I'm told, like, it's the best way to play, like, John Romero's Daikatana. It's just like, oh, make sure to turn cheats on just in case you get stuck somewhere. Well, then it's not a well-made game, is it? Like, you can't come back and, like, reappraise it and act like it's actually a good game. If you turn the cheats on.
If you turn the cheats on, then it's a good game. That makes no sense.
And don't forget to also turn off your multiplayer, your AI companions. It's just like any more layers of like removing and like cheating. It's just like then, oh wow, we reached the dizzying.
Game, it becomes good.
Yeah, exactly. If you like basically turn into a completely different game,
yeah.
Now it's good, right?
Was that a jab at Skyrim?
yes, it was.
That's fair. Just you know what? I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another game from the State of Play, Rise of Ronin.
Yes.
What was it?
Yeah, I wasn't terribly interested in that.
I thought it was cool because it's from Team Ninja, and their combat is pretty good. And I like
know what?
How you can replicate the historic wars from that period.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
You know what? I feel like ever since Sekiro came out, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, I feel like it feels like Team Ninja were heavily inspired by that game, and it feels like every game they have coming out feels like it's styling itself behind either, well, definitely that Wukong game, you know the one?
Some Wukong, yeah.
Yeah.
That's also from Team Ninja,
that one,
right?
That is also from Team Ninja. That one screams. That one absolutely screams to me that it looks very much like Sekiro, the FromSoft game. So, like this one, I got very similar vibes again while watching this. Maybe a little bit of like Ghost of Tsushima mixed in there as well.
Yeah, with the firearms and all. Sorry, I mean the firearms stuff reminds me of Sekiro, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But like Team Ninja personally is, one of the better Souls-like producers, really.
Well, I mean, they already had it in their blood even before the genre was codified. They had Neo, but they also made difficult games in general. They made the whole Ninja Gaiden game.
Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden. They should bring that back, because that's the NES classic.
Well, they did like a remake for like the Xbox 360, and that extended into the later titles and the later consoles. I played Ninja Gaiden 2. I played its demo way back. Oh my fucking god! I swear to God, I hate you so much, B. I swear to God, I hate you so much.
What happened?
Hold up. Okay, slow down. Okay, so now I have to explain something because, specifically, my tier list for the Lifetime Backlog are, as I have said, it's for every game I have ever played. But I don't remember every game that I have played, right?
So you just remember that you have indeed played Ninja Gaiden 2?
I played its demo, so that technically counts. Okay. If the Bioshock demo counts, and for playing Bioshock, so does no Ninja Gaiden 2. And now I have more work to add to the pile. I have to find the game, I gotta play it and record it and write about it. You just gave me more... This is the curse that I bear, because
the curse
this is the curse that I bear. No, it's specifically the way I'm doing it. It's not just like games that I own, or it's all the games I have played. So it encompasses basically everything, right? But I can't remember everything off the top of my head. So a stray thought or memory will come through and remind me of the fact that, oh yeah, I did play that at some point. And then I'm like reminded of like a shitty kids game that I played. It's like, well, I gotta play that now and like add it to the list and give my thoughts and everything.
Man, if I were to try and list all the like Flash games I played, it'd be impossible. I played those things all the time. Those were the only things that I played.
Yeah. Again, as I said, it's just like, of course I don't hate you, B. You're a great guy.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm a great guy.
My point is that like I'm reminded that I have to do that now, and like I run into this problem occasionally, and it's just like sometimes it's good because like oh I should be interested, and then like I'll be reminded of like oh crap I did play that piece of shit. I wish I could forget, but no I gotta do it now, and I don't actively seek out bad games to play. If you actually
They
look
just
at my
happen
tier
to
list,
find you.
they just happen to find me. Yeah, it just
It's
happens
a
that my
curse.
opinion of it is very low. Uh, you'll see that the tier list, like the list for games that are bad, like I don't consider like everything below average and up. I don't consider those games bad, but I specifically state that bad games down. Those are the ones that at some point in my life I had played, like, and I expected it to be good, but then I came out disappointed or I hated it. I don't actively seek out bad games. I guess I say that while we're watching Hunt Down the Freeman.
Yeah, ironic, really.
That's very ironic, yeah.
Speaking of bad games, Callisto Protocol, we also mentioned today, while talking about
Yeah.
Silent 2, it's also on
Yeah.
your tier list. It's in the terrible category, slightly above Hunt Down the Freeman.
Yeah, well, okay. The Callisto Protocols, I played it at release. It was terrible. In fact, and I played it again like just a short while ago. In fact, and I was like, yeah, this is just still bad. Like, just because it's slightly more stable and doesn't crash doesn't stop it from being a bad game.
So here's the question: after you replayed it, did you place it on the tier list higher than before?
Yeah, I put it up slightly higher.
Okay.
I put it over like one other game, and that was it.
It
did make me reconsider. It did make me reconsider some other games I had in the terrible list. That was like, these aren't as bad as I thought they were, with the benefit of hindsight.
Yeah, now that you have played Callisto Protocol, they don't seem so bad anymore.
Yeah, and Hunt Down the Freeman. It's just like, now I have a better grasp of what I think is actually terrible. But yeah, the Callisto Protocol was pretty bad. It's kind of like exacerbates a lot of problems that, like, the weakest parts of Dead Space are really exacerbated here, in my opinion.
Those are like the melee stuff?
It's not the melee. There's hardly any melee except the stomp boot in Dead Space. It feels like there's a combination of like taking the worst ideas from Dead Space and running with them way too far, and also like a mix of new ideas that were also just plain bad.
Funny. So, but Ody, should I ask?
Yeah.
What are the bad parts from Dead Space?
Oh, I mean, like, they're also like the ones that are in Dead Space that are also in.
That's what I'm asking.
Callisto Protocol. It's mostly just kind of the way of writing, of characterization.
It's just like story.
Dead Space and Callisto Protocol both have like a feeble protagonist that is inconsolably angry at someone for no good reason. It's just like constantly accusing and just acting like whoever they're talking to is the worst person ever. It's just like, what is your problem? It
is kind of relatable, but still, yeah.
Took us forever to get past that barrier, by the way.
You thought you were circumspect.
No, that's the way you're supposed to go. Oh, by the way, look at this guy. He's holding back that door. I wonder what he's holding it back from.
From us?
Huh. There's nothing out here. That's interesting. Seems to still be holding back that door.
Good luck with that. Weird guy. Yeah.
Yeah, really weird.
Probably
really weird, bro.
Maybe those were the guys that you killed back there.
Maybe. All right. We're not gonna run this one for as long as last time. Yeah. We're actually gonna we're probably gonna cut it short. We're probably gonna run for just an hour at a time, hopefully.
How long have we been going, by the way?
No, roughly an hour.
Okay. Yeah, we can keep going for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to show too much thus far. Like, we're gonna get into another segment or something. Yeah, we're still in the middle of the chase right now.
Yeah, this is just like the Half-Life 2 chase, but worse. The apartment one?
Yeah. It's significantly worse, yeah. In fact,
there's
you're gonna
parkour this time.
Yeah, maybe like the 8th time thus far.
And watching this just makes me want to play other games instead.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay,
Running
speaking
into
of that space,
let's
see where you put it in the tier list.
Oh, all right. If you can find it, there's a lot of stuff in there, so it's a real needle in a haystack
I'm just using the
situation.
Control F command.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Apparently, you put it
Just
above
cheat.
average.
Yeah, I did put it above average.
Why? I mean, are we talking about
that
the first game, or no?
That's the first one. Yeah, I know that a lot of people think it's like. I know that people hated on it back then, and like it's been reappraised, and it's like considered a classic now.
I think
still
it is
in the
considered
camp.
a classic by now.
There are people that consider it a classic. I don't necessarily agree. I still think it has some good parts. It has some mid parts. Okay, so this scene is very familiar, right?
Oh yeah, this is exactly the apartment scene. But you can shoot
it's the
them
same
down now.
one. Yeah, you're as we've said. Okay, so that's a supposed to lose fight, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that out on my own, and I'm like, hold on a sec. What if I go back, just reload the save real quick? Because I have a gun. I'm not supposed to have a gun. What if I just like leave, right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, it's invisible wall. And gun that guy too.
Oh, out of ammo.
just like use the secondary fire, and they're all dead.
Oh, they really are all dead.
Yeah.
What happens now?
Yeah. Well. That was a supposed to lose fight.
But you win
because you're not supposed to have a gun. Yeah. So and that's an invisible wall. So there's I've effectively broke the game. It's kind of a soft lock, yeah. And there's no way to continue without reloading the save and losing on purpose, even though I can easily gun them all down.
The game punishes you for winning.
Well, shit.
Yeah, quite funny.
Oh my god. It's just like, you've made a perfect game, Birkin.
Perfectly broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you tried to escape.
I'm being really stubborn right now because I'm just like, well, there's got to be some way to get past this part, right? There's got to be some way to like break out of here, right? Just got to break the walls down, all right?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and I have like a million painkillers.
Yeah, you need those to keep playing this game.
Yeah, we'd try it again. All right, you see that? Yeah. That secondary fire got past the invisible wall, but I still can't.
That's a projectile. You're not a projectile, are you?
Well, I can be. I just throw myself
just ragdoll your way out there.
Maybe that'll work. Just ragdoll my way out. So I guess I'm just resigned to death. I gotta lose this part just to continue the game.
Speaking of state of play, do you think we'll ever see a Bloodborne 2 from Sony? Because I've seen the memes
I'm officially stopping. No, I'm no more. I don't want to hear about it. No more. No more about no Bloodborne PC port or some Bloodborne 2. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of the whole community going on about it constantly. It's just like, get a second thing to talk about.
Never.
Jesus. All right. I think we're going to cut it off for here now.
That is a good place to stop.
Yeah. All right. We're going to see y'all later.
Probably
Take
next
it easy.
Later, nerds.
Later, nerds. Indeed.